Tonight I wanna see the bright lights over me. Show me something magical. Show me everything I want and more. The best of the good life.
This weekend on Top Billing, we're cooking a fine dining twist on ekasi favorites with Khayelitsha raised private chef Aya Gope. Winning from a diverse and stunning field of 16 finalists, we bring you the crowning of new Miss SA Zozibini Tunzi. From a gutted shell to this, Fez gets the lowdown on how Maps Maponyane fashioned his new designer crib via WhatsApp. And from Seville with love and a cocktail, Lorna discovers the flamenco dancing heart of southern Spain. Your presenter this evening, Jonathan Boynton Lee, brings you the show from this custom-designed take on family living by a couple whose married life at home began with just a mattress and a couch.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Top Billing. On a night for soup and comfort food, in the kitchen we have Aya Gope, a private chef sought after by international guests. He was raised in Khayelitsha and his cooking blends the best of both worlds.
When Aya's mother suggested he become a chef, he couldn't believe people study cooking. Even as a trainee, he thought no one would take him seriously, until he saw their response to his food.
How would you describe your cooking style?
You know, my style of cooking, it's more about me understanding myself firstly, because I mean, it took me forever to get to a point of being proud of what I did for the public. It's always been my own secret space, but it took me forever to get to a point of being able to show it to the world. And when you're having my food, the one thing that I always hear people saying is, no one like talks when they eat my food, and that's what I like about it.
4 years ago, a restaurant owner appointed Aya as head chef. Within 12 months, they'd won Best Seafood in Cape Town. Now, he runs his own business.
Aya, lots of fresh, lovely looking ingredients over here, lots of colors which I love, but what exactly are we making today?
You know, I'm going to start with the dish that my mom loves a lot, and also my granny. I recently found out that she was also a chef. Well, not a chef, she was a domestic worker, but cooking around different people's houses, you know, back in the days. I was not even born then. And what she loved eating was umfino, which is like a standard in our community. So it's basically pap, which is like maize meal mixed with rice, cabbage, and spinach. So I was like, why don't I take that and play around and put myself in it, you know, and create it differently, but also still have those original flavors there. So I'm doing that first of all, that umfino, you'll love it. I use Swiss chard for umfino. I don't like using the baby spinach because I mean, it dies quickly in the pot. Like you get like small spinach when you're cooking it. It kind of goes down and you get like this small amount of it. And then with that, I'm gonna start with my cabbage as well. So while you're doing that, let me just put my whole cabbage in here because later on, this is gonna come in handy for our mfino because we're gonna use the layers, the outside layers of the cabbage to actually roll in our mfino in there. So that's my modern twist on it. And also I'm gonna show you how to make a beautiful French onion soup for yourself at home. It's gonna be nice and easy. And I'll show you how to roast sweet potatoes with curry. You know, curry. I mean, we're all about now winter. And I want you to taste a bit of my comfort, you know, how I define comfort food.
You were runner-up on Top Chef South Africa 2016. What was that experience like and how did it impact your career?
That experience for me was actually one of the best experiences I've ever had. It actually was the highlight of my career up until today. I never thought that I'd make it to the finals. I mean, for me, being on the top 5 still was like an achievement, you know, because the one thing I was praying for was, can I just not go home the first round, you know, because I don't want to embarrass anyone. So when it happens that I go to the finals, for me, that was like groundbreaking. I didn't even care if I win or not. So I really had so much fun, and it had opened so many opportunities. I mean, the fact that I took the leap of faith of resigning from my job and decided to do private chefing, which has been something that I've always wanted to do. And for me, that time, it was when the food stamp was like placed there, that dude, you're done. This is your time. Awesome. Look at how beautiful that is. And then now I'm gonna check my mfino because it's time to check it out now. Ah, man.
So look there, looks good.
You see how the rice is? It's like starting to cook, and I'm gonna start to mix it a bit and then add in my maize meal.
Incorporating popular staples into new African cuisine matters to this progressive chef.
Smells like home.
does indeed, man.
And then we mix.
Aya, you grew up in Khayelitsha. How do you think that affected the chef that you've become today?
It was just my goal to make sure that I have a job. It was not about what type of chefing job it is. I just wanted to be in the kitchen, I just wanted to make food, and I just wanted to earn money. I think also growing up from Khayelitsha, you kind of see a lot of your peers not doing much with their future after school. All they do is just they stay around the hood or the corners and all of that. And then my thing was, I never want to be one of those people. It made me just keep striving more and more and more. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to assemble the whole dish.
In just his second year as a private chef, these wholesome, innovative dishes have seen Aya become a regular guest on Afternoon Express, doing campaigns with huge global brands and creating his first co-written recipe book.
Awesome, man.
That smells good.
It smells so good, eh? Look at that.
Ooh. I see what you mean about that golden effect.
Can you smell the cheese?
I can smell the cheese, and it's got that perfect little grilled taste and feel.
All you need to
it.
do now is just to chop some parsley and add it there to kind of give it that nice thick green look.
Okay.
Ah, man.
Daring to be different, landed chef and ambassadorship for a major food retailer, doing social media campaigns on hunger and sustainability, while keeping audiences enthralled with his food.
See how it smells. We're already getting some of those aromas. Oh, that smells good.
Look at that.
It's almost got like a, I know you didn't put cinnamon on, but it's got a cinnamon type of feel to it. Very warm.
Time to eat and enjoy.
Well, everything looks and smells absolutely divine, and I believe we've got some guests joining us as well.
You'll get to see my mom. My mom is going to be here to taste my food, and actually she's going to be tasting this food for the first time as well, so I can't wait to see what she's going to say about it. And also a couple of my friends are here too, so yeah, can't wait.
Well, let's make our way through.
Awesome.
Chef Aya is one of 4 children raised by his mother, Veronica Gope. As his friends know, she's more than a parent, and as a mentor, is a constant source of strength and encouragement. She raised him never to give up.
Guys, before we dig in, Mom, I have to ask, you've been such an influential person and figure in Aya's life and also in his cooking career, but how do you think you influenced him into getting into the culinary business?
I was working very hard, and I was working as a domestic worker. So I was getting late at home, like 7, 8 o'clock at night. And I was living with him alone. So he used to cook for me. And then he will say, Mom, what can I do? What can I cook for you so that when you come home, there is something and then you can cook something else for us. And then I'll ask him to cook rice for me. And then when I get home, and then we'll do eggs. And then we'll do egg rice with tomato sauce. I didn't know I was raising a chef. I didn't, really, I didn't.
Well, before we dig in, I'd like to say thank you so much for showing me how you infuse your culture into the flavors of the dishes you make, and also for being able to share this opportunity and this dinner with your family and your friends. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for taking time as well to come and see me and enjoy my food. Hopefully you'll feel the grandma's heart that I'm talking about.
Can we eat?
Next year, Chef Aya hopes to launch a kitchen studio in Khayelitsha to showcase the diverse talents in his community and as a launchpad for many new careers.
So while the well-to-do and famous are each trying to book Chef Aya for their dinners, the dish and company he would choose over any other is rice and eggs with his mom. I'm kind of glad we're going to a commercial break now because I'm going to tear up a little bit.
Coming up, small-town cottage style with Art Deco interiors. Designer Jason Bricknell delivers the best of both for EBRAHIM and TASNEEM SAMODIEN.
It is easier to look at an extreme style of design and understand how it works. More difficult is getting a handle on this kind of comfortable, practical, classic contemporary approach and what makes it tick. Luckily, we have Jason Bricknell to walk us through it.
In the sociable, tree-lined streets of this Joburg neighborhood, EBRAHIM and TASNEEM SAMODIEN have found their home. In their 12-year marriage, they've lived at 6 different addresses from Cape Town to the UK. But this cottage-style house is for keeps.
EBRAHIM, after moving so many times, you and your family decided to rather just build your dream home. What made you choose this area?
Jade, can you believe we've moved 7 times? And when we saw this neighborhood, we fell in love with it. It's got that little Chelsea feel to it, and since we've lived in London, it was exactly what we wanted. It's right by the river. It's just really amazing and peaceful.
What did you and your family envision for a home?
We wanted a place where we could raise a family. So we wanted something that would be warm, practical, something where we could see our kids running around, and something where we could really enjoy spending our time together.
The couple replaced their old furniture, choosing to have everything custom-made for the new place, and asked interior designer Jason Bricknell to guide them.
On the outside, you see this very traditional cottage, and when you come inside, it's so modern and new.
Well, exactly. So we've kept with the original architecture, but then done something a little bit more unexpected inside, a little bit more glamorous, a little bit more elegant. So it helps to transition from perhaps traditional to a more modern feel.
And to create that modern feel, what we've done is this was 3 separate rooms. We've opened up the space, we've added in the bulkheads with the downlights and the LEDs just to give it more of that warm feeling of a home.
And although, we've done that and opened up the space, it's always important to create and define separate areas. So as you'll notice, the entrance kind of guides you into the basic look and feel of the home. So we have incredibly gilded gold mirror, we have a simple marble console with a composition of objet, and then to define the space, we've got a screen that's see-through, but helps to contain the area and the entrance and make sure that this is where you greet your guests and where the home starts off from.
Decor-wise, you've really made a bold statement.
Funny thing, Jade, is that this is not where we started. So we actually started on something a lot more traditional. And what Jason did was he opened our mind in terms of the art of the possible. So he really inspired us to be a bit more brave in terms of exploring what we wanted.
Well, exactly. So the point when you move into a new space, you only know what you know. So I love it when my clients have an evolution of their style, where they kind of discover more and learn more about themselves with a new space that they're in, a new energy, new space, new style.
Jason's designs are influenced by the style and rich materials of 1920s Art Deco. This lends strong form to the brass accents and colour which the Samodiens wanted.
You've seen we've used a lot of brass in this space. For instance, we have this incredible chandelier in the brass, which is the axis for this entire space. And from there, everything else is diluted in terms of the brass, the bold colors, and especially on the dining room table, we have these incredible blue chairs with a texture on the fabric so that we don't overdo too much pattern and fabric in one space.
So while it makes a really bold statement, we really enjoy entertaining. So it's also a space where we spend a lot of time with our family and friends.
A glass top ensures the table doesn't dominate the space, and the sideboard backs onto the sofa to define the lounge.
Gentlemen, it's so interesting to see how you've made the patterns and various textures all work together so well. You've really made some brave choices here.
Thanks, Jade, but there's a reason behind it. So, as you've seen, we've gone for quite a bold color sofa, which complements the brass in the house. And to add to that formality, we've gone for a really bold black and white wallpaper, which again complements the black and white on the sofa and also helps to focus the attention on the fireplace in this space.
And the fireplace is the one part down here that was from the original house. We just fell in love with it and really wanted to keep that classic feel combined with a more modern design.
It looks fantastic, but I see you actually have 2 lounges here.
What we did here was we tried to go for his and hers. So you got the guys here on a Sunday afternoon watching the football, you've got the ladies over here relaxing, having some tea or coffee.
So as you can see, we've gone for a little bit more of a subtle space with the green being a little bit more feminine, but still sexy and helps to tone with the rest of the space. We've got brown sofas which are practical for the kids, and also then that turns in with the wooden floor, and then the green rug which helps bring all the space together and help to create the family room.
It's not colors that we would have easily have chosen, and it took quite a lot of convincing. But when we saw the end product, it was something spectacular.
Well, we've covered downstairs. Let's go have a look upstairs.
Come check it out.
Being an old house, they had to gut the interiors and redo floors, electrics, plumbing, ceilings, and wall finishes. After that, the couple needed some peace and quiet, and Jason obliged with a room for them to take shelter from the storm.
This room has a much softer feel to it.
Well, exactly. So being the bedroom, we need to invoke serenity, peace, calmness. So we've gone for a more muted, but still a sophisticated palette in here. We've gone for a taupe headboard. Obviously, the luxury of the velvet invokes a little bit more of that special feeling, being the main bedroom of the home. We've got art, we've got mirrors to help create the spatial orientation to make it look a bit bigger. Also, we have beautiful light that we want to complement. So that all helps with the grey, the taupe, and then the brass that comes through again, which is a theme that runs through the home.
Ibrahim, I have to compliment you on the artwork. It's absolutely stunning.
Thanks, Jade. My wife chose it. Choosing what goes in your bedroom is never easy. We wanted to go with something that's quite subtle but intimate at the same time.
What space did you enjoy working on the most in here?
So the bathroom in the main ensuite is actually a stunning area as well because you spend a lot of time in it. So we've gone for a bold, contemporary feature tile on the shower wall, and we've incorporated that design to replicate that on the mirrors in the vanity.
In the UK, knowing they'd returned to South Africa, the SAMODIENs bought DIY kit furniture. Being able to fit the elegant, permanent joinery in the dressing room was a way of affirming this is where they'll stay and raise their sons IMAAD and RAI'D in a fantastic Jurassic Park meets Boys in the Hood style room.
Guys, this graffiti is so cool.
I love the graffiti. I mean, the colors are everything, especially for a young boy's room. It's really cool. And we blended that well with very simple, very minimal furniture, which helps to balance the room out, to give them more fun and enjoy the space.
What was really awesome was they didn't know about it, so when they first walked in here, they were both like, whoa! And truth may be, I think I was reliving my childhood.
While these young dinosaur enthusiasts can now enjoy 12 months a year of outdoor playtime, being born in London makes them just as comfortable playing indoors.
Welcome to the Pajama Lounge. This is the room where we spend most of our time in. It's where we retreat in the evenings, and the kids absolutely love it because it's a real boy space.
I think this is my favorite room in the house. I love how you've made it so comfortable yet keeping it stylish at the same time.
Thanks, Jade. So we've gone for larger format furniture, which helps to maximize the usage of the space. The blue color, again, which ties in with the boy theme we have going up here. And then we've also got two functional areas. We've got the homework section, and we've got the family space as well.
I think these ottomans are super funky. I'm not sure if it's for your feet or for your food though.
Well, it's for both actually. So when you're not using it as a coffee table, you can put your feet up on it because that's the beauty of customized furniture. And that's what we've done with the rest of the house. Made the furniture for the space as opposed to the other way around.
Before they could offer 9-year-old IMAAD and 7-year-old RAI'D this lifestyle, EBRAHIM and TASNEEM's first home was a 1-bedroom apartment. All they could afford was a mattress on the floor and a couch. So life has improved.
Boys, what do you love most about your home?
I like swimming, soccer, and playing with my brother. Upstairs in the Pajama Lounge, I like reading, drawing, and playing video games.
It's so lovely out here. I'm sure you can't wait for summer to come again so you can spend more time outside.
Absolutely, it's one of our favorite parts of the house. We spend a lot of time out here in the winter and the summer. We love relaxing, watching the boys play football, taking a nap. It's just a very special place.
Tasneem, why is this the perfect family home for you?
Because it's our first real home. We enjoy spending quality time together as a family, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had a wonderful time. You really turned a house into a home, and I can feel the love.
It was an absolute pleasure. We're so glad you liked it.
With many places in the world a little upside down at the moment, it's heartening to see a young family committed to making their life in South Africa.
Stylish but comfortable and relaxed, this house fits its owners like a favorite pair of shoes, jeans and a jacket. Join the party on #TopBilling and let us know if it speaks to you.
Next up, our Miss South Africas who've gone on to conquer the world and the universe gather to crown a queen fit for a new era.
The way that our Miss South Africa winners keep flying on to international honours means we obviously have a winning formula. This year's finalists proved no exception, and they're a credit to the nation, Women's Month, and the parents who raised them.
The finalists reflect the character and spirit of the Women's March on Pretoria, which took place in 1956. It's an event honoured on Women's Day, the date chosen for this year's pageant.
KGOTHATSO, your dream is to inspire others who perhaps feel misplaced or misunderstood. From your own experience, what advice could you give others who perhaps feel insecure?
I would tell people to actually be themselves. By being yourself, you are bringing something that was never there in the world. And me being in this competition, I'm trying to show people that you can be different and you can be unique and you can still be beautiful.
I know that Tamron Green, the current Miss South Africa 2018, is your role model. What do you love about what she's done with the title, and what would you want to build on top of that if you were to win?
So I had a TV scare 2 days before Tamron broke her Break the Stigma campaign, and just her speaking up about it really helped me, and I also want to pay that forward to young girls.
How would you describe the bond between the girls this year?
Incredible. It's actually like no other. We're all so different, but there's a connection between each and every one of us. It's really incredible.
You are no stranger to pageantry. You were a former first princess for Miss Earth and Miss Rivonia. What advice could you give to other ladies wanting to enter a competition like this?
Well, I would say that they must let go of the gremlin of fear. We have this fear, that voice over our shoulder that's saying, don't do it. And just give themselves a shot and trust that they are able to be a Miss South Africa one day.
I think it's so fitting that the pageant this year is on Women's Day, because these are the most intelligent and smart women I've ever met. They are a direct representation of what the women of 1956 would have wanted them to be. You know, it's just a bunch of amazing women coming together, and I think it's the most brilliant thing ever.
What does it take to prepare for a competition like this?
It's a constant journey leading to the big day. So I've had a lot of ups, I've had a lot of downs, but they've built me. And I'm willing to go out in the world and share what I've learned about myself and about other people as well, and to continue making a difference.
How do you think a pageant like Miss South Africa can empower women all over the country?
Well, I think that I'm living proof of that phenomenon, because 15 years ago, I watched Miss South Africa, and every single day Miss South Africa empowered my decisions and empowered me as a woman. So I feel like when little girls look at me on the stage, and in 15 years' time, they'll say that was because of me.
SASHA-LEE, how would you describe the Miss South Africa journey?
The first thing that comes to mind for me is the fact that there's so much power in embracing all that you are. There's so much strength in diversity, and for the first time this platform has actually showcased what South Africa has to offer, and if anything, I'm just so proud to be a part of that.
Half the excitement is hitting the red carpet and hearing from previous winners the nation still loves.
Miss South Africa is finally here, and the competition is so tough, I had to bring in some reinforcement.
Well, I consider myself a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to beauty, talent, and skills. So I think I'm in the right place. Shall we?
Yes. I feel like 2019 has really taken it up a notch this year. Tell us about the changes you've made.
Jade, firstly, I mean, can you believe it? You were one of my first years when Jade was a contestant. So, you know, it's amazing to see, and I think that's exactly what I've tried to bring to the forefront of this pageant. The dreams that they see from wherever they are from in this country, and how this platform can elevate them.
Tamron, how does it feel to be handing your crown over tonight?
I'm very excited, but at the same time, I have butterflies in my tummy. I'm not sure if that's like nerves or just excitement.
What are some of the things that you prepare for after the whole event?
Oh my word, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be tough, but it's going to be worthwhile.
Yeah.
And enjoy it, embrace it. You're there to help your country, you're there to represent your country. So think about that in every step you take.
The mark that women leave on this world is really unquestionable. The fact that we are here on Women's Day makes Miss South Africa even more special, celebrating who we are and everything we could possibly be.
I think you only need to look at the finalists to see how Miss South Africa has changed and how inclusive it has become. And really, we're just saying to the youth that beauty really is unique.
You know, it's clear that great minds think alike, but tell me, what advice would you have for some of the contestants here?
Do you know what? I would make sure that they stay true to themselves, don't pretend too much, and enjoy yourself in everything you do. Just enjoy.
Rolene, first of all, congratulations on baby number 2. You would never say.
Thank you very much. At this stage, when we designed the dress, we didn't know whether we would have announced it yet, so we designed something that might hide a little baby bump, but thank you very much.
You know what's extra incredible is that they've decided to have the pageant this year on Women's Day. What do you make of that?
I think that it just shows that this is about the strength of women. It showcases all types of women in South Africa, representing as many women as we can, and we have an all-women judging panel. I am looking for a lady that's going to carry on the legacy that all the other Miss South Africas have worked so hard on building. I'm looking for a lady that doesn't try and fit a mold, but that is her own mold and that is unapologetic about who she is. That's what I'm looking for.
I'm looking for somebody who just steps into the power, because also this is the first year where we're looking for somebody who's compatible with the pageant, not necessarily going to adapt to everything that we say. This is how Miss South Africa's done. No, they need to be compatible with it, and we need to meet them halfway.
Welcome to South Africa. You look dashing. Yes. What do you think of South Africa so far?
You know what? I have the best impression, guys. I not only had an amazing first impression from the girls of Demi and Tamarin, sharing their love for their amazing Rainbow Nation, but to be here now, to experience the wonderful people, you are all so warm and kind, and I'm just waiting on when I can come back.
And what I'm most impressed by is that I heard you wearing a South African designer.
Yes, I am. The designer's BG, and I couldn't be happier.
The finalists tonight, I wish them the very best. The beauty is that you must make sure that you enjoy your time on stage, because the 2 hours goes by so quickly. It's not only just about who takes the crown at the end of the evening, but it's about, you know, the sisterhood and the bonds that you form.
So it's more about the journey.
It's indeed more about the journey of hope.
Which turned to jubilation as 25-year-old PR student and rising talent of advertising, Zozibini Tunzi took the title.
She is so amazing. She's articulate, she's smart, she's gorgeous. I love the fact that they celebrated diversity. Everyone here had a story. Everyone here was individual. And I think that's what Miss South Africa is. We're all so different. And I think the right queen won tonight.
I'm very happy because she represents us up back to Aposa, Eastern Cape, you know, she's from back home, and she's just doing it, she's killing it, bro. She looked amazing.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, and members of the village that raised our beautiful Miss South Africa 2019 is right here with me, her parents. How are you feeling after this victory?
This is absolutely amazing. You know what, as a rural boy, I never thought that from my area, which is Tsolo, Dwadweni, that a Miss South Africa can come out of that area. I really can't believe that this has happened to my family.
I'm sure you're so proud of your sister right now.
I am very, very proud of my sister. I don't know what to say, but I'm very happy for her.
A fan of comic superheroes, Zozibini is ready to answer her country's call.
What was your strategy going into the competition?
I didn't really have a strategy. Well, maybe if being myself is a strategy, then that was it. I'm hoping that the judges would love what they see and that they would pick me, and yeah, they did.
I think one of the winning strategies was copying my hairstyle.
I wanted to say, when did you get my picture to copy my hairstyle?
I actually can't remember the last time an African woman won having a natural hair.
You know, this is how I've been for the past 2 years. Just because I'm coming into a different platform doesn't mean I need to change who I am. And I feel women all over the world, you know, have a choice to look how they want to look and to feel beautiful however they want to feel beautiful.
One of the things that you are really passionate about is education. And now that you are Miss South Africa, what are you going to do with this platform?
It's a big part of my life. It's the reason why I'm here. I mean, without education, I don't think I'd be able to sit and communicate the way that I communicate. And I just think every South African child deserves to have one. I mean, children don't have books. Some have to cross bridges to get to school. And I think it's like such a really, really big issue. And I really would love to be impactful in that space.
The whole country is celebrating. We are so proud and happy for you.
Look out for our in-depth top billing interview with Zozibini Tunzi later this Women's Month.
Congratulations to our new knockout Miss SA. But please don't ever make me a judge, because I tell you right now, we'll need 16 crowns.
Coming up, with help from a friend, Maps Maponyane packs maximum style into minimal space with his bachelor pad makeover.
Okay, when I was told that Fez and Maps were doing a decor piece on his new pad, I thought, what's missing here? Both talented, stylish dudes, but let's be honest, authorities on interior design? As I suspected, there was a rose amongst the thorns.
Maps is almost never home. One day he's in New Zealand as a rugby brand ambassador. The next, he's producing a new film. The question is how he found time to renovate.
Listen, I thought I was going to come here and see a humble abode,
but this place is phenomenal.
Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that. But it is very much a humble abode, I'd still say, because it's probably the smallest house that Top Billing has covered.
I mean, it might be small, but it feels like everything here has a place. And we were lucky enough to see the before and after pictures on social media, and it caused quite a buzz.
Well, I just try to show a little glimpse of a before and after, specifically this angle from that side, just to sort of show what you can do with any kind of space that you live in. And for me, it was a case of, I'm hardly at home. I love the idea of a functional apartment that has everything I need in it. I'm a very detail-oriented person. I love bringing things from my travels with me, all my inspirations. I wanted to create a space and sanctuary that motivated me and inspired me to want to be here more often. And I'm so stimulated on the outside world non-stop. It's really great for me to be able to come home and feel a lot calmer, hence the slightly darker walls and textures. And it's something that, for me, really works well to be able to have a contrast between leaving my inner world and going out into the outside world. And I think it's a great balance that I try and find.
Guys, been here for, a couple of minutes. I'm already feeling quite zen. Did you do it by yourself?
I was lucky enough to have worked with a lady a couple times on Top Billing, actually, who'd done a few homes, and over the years we struck quite a rapport, threw a few ideas around, and when it came to doing the home, she was ready. She knew me and my style already, and it was so easy to bring on board Mia Woodlake from Studio 19, and I'd love for you to meet her.
It was a case of Maps, Mia, and the power of communication.
So, you are actually the mastermind behind this, aren't you?
I'd like to say I am. I actually am. We've been plotting this plan for about 4 years.
Yeah.
And then we finally got round to doing it about a year ago. And it was the perfect example of decorating via WhatsApp, because Maps is never home. But yeah, we've had fun.
You two are very prominent creative minds. How was that relationship? I know you said a lot of it was done via WhatsApp, but how was the synergy?
Everything in the 70s, it was just a trendy thing to compartmentalize every single space. So there were walls upon walls upon walls, so we really had to knock down quite a few walls, but also be careful which walls you knock down so that, you know, it sticks within the body corporate stipulations and all of that.
And place it and fall down.
And place it and fall down. So it was quite a balancing act in the end to really try and meticulously navigate how to do it as well as possible while making sure that we create that space that we're trying to achieve.
And it is such a polished end product. And I love the little features. I mean, the lights coming down, even this tabletop, it just kind of pops out at you.
Yeah, this kitchen counter is a sort of matted leather granite counter. Usually it's a very glossy finish that you'd find in most kitchens. And we decided to go with that leather finish as soon as we found this one, and then put the gloss on the side so that we could have a duplicity of texture.
So to complement the leathered granite tops, we used black oak cabinetry everywhere, and then with the lovely texture of the terrazzo, the handmade terrazzo subway tiles, and mixed that up with the mottled bronze shelving just to kind of add a little bit more texture and interest.
I love that these walls aren't here anymore, so we can flow into this exquisite lounge space.
Now we're in the bar area, and the bar stools behind you were some nice pieces we found at La Forma, and if you sit at this bar counter, it's put at quite a high height specifically just to consume drinks and not eat, so it's kind of uncomfortable to try and eat there, so it's purely for entertaining, and it's something that we really took into account to really be able to define what the space was used for.
We have these really cool drawers that pull out and serve as a serving counter, so you can mix your drinks here. Because we didn't have the depth, we just have it inside the cabinet. So that was a pretty cool little feature that we added. And then used the same marble that we've used on the little round dining table just to finish off the countertop here.
This feature jumps out at me because I usually see art hung up on walls, but this one's on a shelf.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of art, and when you have a very small space, you want to figure out the best way to get each of your pieces a chance inside your home. And so with the biblio shelf, what Mia was trying to achieve there was to be able to have my art rotated a whole lot more, and it didn't always have to be fixed.
All of these are very unique and different from each other. Who are the artists?
Absolutely. So all the art is African art, predominantly 99% South African art, and you're quite right, that's Banela Khoza, and I just love his quirkiness and just how unique he is with his creations. That's one by a young artist called Gix Khole. That's actually a 3D painting, and I wish everyone at home could get to see it.
I feel like I don't believe you there.
It's 3D. It's 3D. So there's a process. So you pop these on.
Okay.
Got two.
Okay.
It's weird, eh?
What? Yeah. So it's...
And anywhere you move.
Wherever you move, however low you go, however far you go, it sort of moves with you. And I just think he's such a genius and creative young artist that is someone I've been, trying to support as much as possible from a couple of years ago. And then right next to him is someone else who's also a very unique South African young artist, Lebohang Motaung. And she is a very special kind of artist that uses hair to create all her pieces. But I think it's one of the most beautiful things I've seen.
I love how all these pieces frame this very comfortable, relaxed lounge space. But there seems to be a lot more color here than the other spaces we've been to.
I didn't want the artwork to be only isolated colour in the room, so we wanted to introduce Maps' favourite colour, green, along with all the green plants to pull that thread through. So we introduced green in the carpet, and along with the really comfortable masculine tan sofa, it just adds a little bit more energy and a little bit more life to the space.
Early to rise and late to bed, Maps is planning the launch of a new Method Cup Classique sparkling wine later this year. So 8 hours sleep is a rare pleasure.
I see you've gone for a more industrial look here with the Facebook on the wall.
So in this room I went for that New York style apartment. So exposed brick, got rid of that plaster and wanted to have, I guess more that industrial feel, continuing from the main part of the home, bringing in the lighter shade of paint in here just to brighten the space up a little bit. The wardrobes with linen wallpaper over it to add a bit of texture, the floating bookshelf with the sideboard over there, and a nice big comfy bed, because honestly this is where the magic of me getting a proper night's sleep happens. Of course, this of all parts of the house is the real sanctuary for me.
And again, you have the artworks hanging in here as well.
Yeah, of course, I had to bring some art into this space. This is by a friend of mine, Tabiso. He's an incredibly talented photographer, better known as Arrow, and that's really an emotive piece for me, so I wanted it in my bedroom. And then there's a white shirt behind you, which is actually from Florence. It was something that was gifted to me by some very close family friends, and it's made out of marble. I'm obsessed with the idea of a really great, pristine white shirt, and I think they hit the nail on the head with that one.
As a fashion muse whose headwear distinguishes him in any setting, his collection now doubles as an art installation.
So this is the hat wall.
I mean, it's impressive. Does each one have a story?
Most of them do have a story, but I just really love hats. They're all from a local milliner known as Simon and Mary, but I think it's just a great metaphor, as I've collected them over the years, of what I think represents me as a person. You know, a man that wears many hats, and I just wanted to have this feature wall of hats because I loved the idea of being able to display all of them and to see them all out in the open and pick whichever one I wanted.
Well, I'm going to be going overseas to represent the country soon. Is any one of these good for this head?
Disclaimer, I have a very big head, so first I'm going to have to find you one of my smaller ones on this wall. So I'd say to represent, I think I'd have to probably say this one. I usually wear it on the back of my head because it doesn't fit around the whole circumference of my head. But honestly, I just love the creativity of this one. And this is actually splattered by Nelson Makamo. And I think it will look really good on you.
I mean, guys, it's giving me a free hat. That's why I love this job.
I don't know about a free hat, but you can definitely use it for Mr. World.
It's free. It's mine.
Do not get between Maps and his hats.
And that pretty much is the house. This is my home. Harmony.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you too, man.
You know affairs, right?
What's going on here,
It's
guys?
okay. Come here.
No.
Shh, just embrace it. Embrace it. It's all good.
Are you a little bit touched? What's going on?
What's happening here, guys?
So you and Jonathan have your bromance or whatever. So Harmony and I go way back. And he comes over now and again. We chill. We watch a movie. Actually, just in time, I was about to show him the party trick.
What? You haven't seen it yet? You're gonna love this, bro.
As an amateur magician, the great Maponyane likes making doors disappear.
So the first thing I did was knock down this wall and open the space up. And I wanted a curtain that could have the outside be inside as well. So got these made. I love the practicality and functionality of being able to walk through any gap here. And of course I mentioned that if we're gonna watch TV, we need to black it out so we can have our cinema feel, and that's how you do it.
Now let me get comfortable. That's an incredible job.
Don't get too comfortable, brother. You know where your seat is. That's my spot. Get away. There we go. Right there. Let's watch some TV.
Yeah.
Lights off.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle a dit?
Je ne sais pas. I miss Jonathan.
For real romantic comedy, check Maps' new film, co-produced with Terry Petto, out next year.
Yeah, guys, life's a cabaret while the rest of us have to work here. Maps, an invite would have been nice, keep Fez some company. But don't worry, Fez, we're going to Philippines together, so you won't have to miss me.
Coming up, a dance 2,000 years in the making, Lorna learns the flamenco. And with love from Seville, a gift hamper could be yours.
In Spain, it is a badge of pride to be a citizen of the free-spirited city of Seville. With a flavor perfectly captured in new Tanqueray Flor de Seville, it's a buzz of flamenco dancing, African influences, and the feel of endless summer.
The discovery of the New World by Christopher Columbus 5 centuries ago started a golden age. All Spanish trade from the Americas passed through here, bringing the world to Seville and making it a magnet for food, art and culture.
So ladies, the reason why I brought you inside here, this happens to be one of the best cocktail bars in Seville. It's also got a beautiful contrast of high ceilings, and it's a beautiful hidden gem in the corner there. So if you've seen throughout the city, there's a balance of very modern textures, but also very historic buildings. If we go into the room, you'll see a great balance of Mediterranean feel, the ceramic tiles. It's a great contrast to the modernization of this room. So we're really gonna enjoy it, have some tapas and some delicious cocktails.
I was just drawn to the colors. The palettes are so gorgeous. Blue and pink go together so well.
Personally, for me, the lighting is just absolutely amazing.
So we have good food, great cocktails. I think we're in for a great time.
Absolutely. It is going to be a delicious time, ladies. Since you ladies are up for cocktails, I've got a sneaky surprise in the form of a cocktail challenge.
So what's the challenge?
The challenge is a cocktail mixing competition between the two of you, of course with Tanqueray, and I get to be the judge.
Aren't you so lucky? Okay, Blue, are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it. Let's do
Blue
this.
and Lorna, let's see who wins, okay?
1, 2, 3, let's cocktail.
Ooh,
let's do this.
Let's do it. Okay, right. So what are you doing, Blue?
Babe, I'm making the Duchess cocktail.
Okay, the Duchess cocktail. I haven't even figured out a name yet.
Maybe you will after this. Get it together. Points.
I know.
Are you panicking? Why do you sound so nervous?
Lorna never panics. I mean, I've got like little tricks up my sleeve.
That looks yummy, just so you know.
They tell the ballet dancer who's very competitive. Thanks, guys. Thanks, team.
Can I just say, I'm almost done here. That's how easy this thing is for me.
Add a slice of Seville orange.
Something like this. It is a Negroni with the Lorna touch, okay? All right, who do you want to start with first?
Let me start with Blue's one.
Dun, 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 dun. Drum roll, kids.
Thank you.
Mine's called Lorna's Sun-Kissed Negroni.
Oh, okay. Ooh. I love the name.
Fabulous.
I'm gonna stick with interesting again. Let's have a nibble and then ask the bartenders maybe to serve us the cocktail.
Maybe. Wow. Thanks, Lissady.
Thank you for the effort, lady. But anyway, I'm still gonna have mine because I think it's nice.
I think I'm gonna do that too. Cheers, Blue.
Some tapas were called for too.
So, Lissady, you were right about getting the bartender to make us other cocktails. Wasn't that bad?
It wasn't that bad, but this is more balanced.
So ladies, I've ordered us some croquettes, which are really popular here in Seville, and I think they've got some mayonnaise at the bottom. I've got beef carpaccio, which is delicious, it's light. The capers add that beautiful zestiness to the dish, and some salmon and vegetables. Healthy, but filling, and I think they complement the Flor de Seville really beautifully. So are you ready to dig in?
Let's dig in. As you ladies know, I'm not a foodie at all.
After this trip, you're going to be a connoisseur of food and drink.
Ooh, I don't mind that at all. It's quite good, ladies. Okay, I'm gonna test the carpaccio next, and I'm pretty sure with the capers and the little bit of orange that's also in the drink, it should create a perfect balance. Spot on. The lightness of the carpaccio, balanced with the zest of the capers, really complements the Flor de Seville. The orange as well is not overwhelming when it comes from the cocktail, which is divine.
I'm absolutely loving this moment. I think my palate is like doing cartwheels. It's excited, and that's what I love about food and having just the perfect drink to have it as a pairing.
All I can say is divine.
Can I get a whoop whoop for that? Whoop whoop.
While Blue and Lassetti Instagrammed the sights, Lorna had to see the birthplace of flamenco, a dance that's an entire industry to Seville.
Marco, this museum is truly spectacular. I believe it's the first flamenco museum in the world.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it was founded by a very famous local civilian dancer whose name is Cristina Hoyos. The museum was founded by April 8th, 2006.
What can you experience at this museum?
We have two separated areas. Right now we are located at the second floor, where we have, as you may see at the background, different flamenco expositions. That's the main core for every exposition that we have. Downstairs, we've got the first floor, which is like the interactive area for visitors to get to know more about the flamenco. Well, we've got like a video wall, and we show people what the dance is, and it's a constant feedback between the artist and the audience. But it's not only related to flamenco dance, also to flamenco singing, playing the guitar, or even writing a poem or doing a sculpture, anything that can be connected with art in general.
I can imagine flamenco dance has a rich history dating back to the gypsies.
Flamenco's genesis is a hypothesis. We connect that with the Phoenicians, Mediterranean traders that 1,000 years before Jesus Christ was born in an area called Cadiz, which is not that much far from Seville, they introduced the castagnettes. After that, you have to take into consideration the gypsies. Coming from India, from an area called Punjab, they arrived to Seville more or less 70 years before Christopher Columbus discovered America. Now, after that, you can also talk America being discovered, and how is it that that affected flamenco for certain flamenco styles to be born. And then after that, you can also talk about another group of gypsies that were located in the south of France, and they gave much more technique to the feet movement. We're talking about the mid-19th century, late 19th century.
Well, Marco, I used to be a ballet dancer back at home, so I believe you've got flamenco dance classes downstairs?
Yeah. There is another Cristina Gallego, who's ready to teach you the flamenco lesson. So let's go to it.
Fabulous.
Very good, Lorna.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, Lorna. Yes.
Okay, Christina, you need to slow your roll, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, repeat with me. But your legs, okay?
Okay. Let me tell you something about Spanish dance, right? It originated from different parts of Africa as well. It's about rhythm. And if you don't have rhythm, this class might be a little difficult. Christina, show me again, girl. All right.
Okay. And.
All together now? Yes. Fabulous. Okay. Come on, this way.
And.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try again.
thing about flamenco dance is that it's got a lot of passion, love, it's intense but so much fun. I honestly think that my girls, the city and Blue, have missed out, but I've had such an amazing time.
Of course, Sevilla's got rhythm. It's just across the Mediterranean from Africa, so we're practically cousins. Next week, we discover the natural gold which the Moors brought to the region when they planted its world-famous orange groves. Until then, good night, South Africa, and God bless.
Stand a chance of winning this week's Tanqueray hamper by telling us what Lorna named her Flor de Sevilla cocktail. Is it 1, Lorna's sun-kissed Negroni, or 2, the Duchess? SMS your name and answer 1 or 2 to 41199. That's 41199. SMSs cost R1 per SMS. T's and C's apply and are on the Top Billing website.